Then all of you approached me and said, let us send men to explore the land for us. What's the problem? That the people didn't go and ask for advice. Who said that they should go? Who do they ask? And they conspired to tell the people, hey, you know what? We can stay in the desert. It's fine. We have mann and we can learn Torah all day. They thought it was a good idea. They thought the spies was a good idea. They thought staying in the desert was a good idea. In order to get better, you have to live a new way. And what's to live a new way? It's to live your life in consultation. It's to ask before you act. The Yetzer Hara, addict within us, whatever you want to call it, wants us to move quickly, doesn't want us to think. When it comes to something we actually have to do, oh, it's okay, you can learn Torah later. Oh, it's okay, you can work out later. Don't worry about it. Later. But when it's something that the Yetzer Hara knows is going to get you in trouble, come on, we got to do it now. It's hilarious. It's a farce. It's absurd. Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to another Live with the Times. My name is Maynard Breslow. Today we'll be going over the third Aliyah here in Parshat Devarim, the new book of Parshat Devarim that we start this week. And today we're talking about the spies and Moshe kind of going over this account, remembering, trying to forget, but we'll also be talking about obviously the commentary or the translation coming from the Chumash, and then going over any commentary that comes from Breslov, from Nachman, for these pasukim. After that, we'll be doing two halachas from Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, still talking about Shabbos, prohibited activities on Shabbos, and moving into HaBitachon, Shaar HaBitachon, and finally, Rav Shalom Arush, selection from his library, I'm in your hands, which is about HaBitachon. So a lot of stuff to cover here today. This episode is for the healing, refuah shlema of Winiru bat Shiran, Aviv Sabat Shlomit, and brought to you by Safer H2O, saferh2o.com for all of your home filtration needs. Mamish Mavericks, and of course, DJ Mamish Tov, your female DJ in Eretz Yisrael. Without further ado, we'll jump right in here. The third Aliyah. תקרבון אליי כולכם, ותאמרו, נשלחה אנשים לפנינו, וחרפו לנו אס הארץ, והשיבו אסנו דבר אס הדרך, אשר נעלה בה, אס ההרים, אשר נבוא אליהם. All of you approached me. You said, let us send men ahead of us so that we will search out the land for us. Tell us what language is in heaven speak, the most direct route by which we will go, and which cities we should approach first to conquer. The Kehot adds here quite a little bit, but when you heard that the time had come to confront the nations living in the promised land, you panicked. All of you, except for the tribe of Levi, approached me as an unruly mob, disregarding any hierarchy of age, rank, or social status. Instead of trusting in Hashem, you said, let us send men ahead of us so that we will search out the land for us, tell us what languages inhabitants speak, seek out the easiest, most direct route by which we will go up, and determine which cities we should approach first to conquer. Because the question is, who asked you? Who asked them to send this? How did this come about? The plan pleased me. So I took 12 of the men from you, one from the man from each tribe. And that Hashem was displeased by your desire to employ these natural strategies of conducting a conquest, since this was evidence of a lack of faith in his promise that you would conquer the land miraculously. But the plan you proposed actually pleased me, since I thought that if I would agree to send scouts, my confidence in the positive outcome of the expedition would quiet your fears and you would withdraw your request. But this tactic did not work. You did not withdraw your request, so I acquiesced to it. And as Hashem instructed me, I took 12 of the best and finest men from among you, one man from each tribe, except for that Levi, since they had not requested representation among the scouts. Wow. So we see the people, they came to Moshe, they demanded. Hashem wasn't into it. And yet Moshe was like, maybe it's a good idea. Yeah, of course we'll send them, thinking that the people are going to say, okay, fine. Listen, if Moshe is that confident, we don't really need to send him. We just want to see if, And they kind of play this game of chicken. And unfortunately, Moshe lost. ויפנו ועלו ההרה ויבואו עד נחל אשכול ויגלו oisa. This famous place. So they turned and ascended the mountain. They came to the valley of Eshkol, Ad Nachal Eshkol, the cluster of grapes, and they spied out. Kahor adds that the scouts turned north and ascended the mountain of the Amorites. They came to the valley that would be called the valley of Eshkol, the cluster of grapes, on account of the grapes they took from it to show you, and also spied out the entire length and breadth of the land. This was the place where they conspired against Bnei Israel, against Kol Israel, to come up with this evil report in order so they should not have to go into the land and they could stay in the desert forever, learning Torah, eating mann. And so they took the grapes, these gigantic grapes, say, hey, you think these grapes are big? Imagine people who eats them. They took some of the fruit of the land in their hands and brought it down to us and said, the land that Hashem, our God, is giving to us is good. Sounds like a good report. What does the Kehot say? Right, it says they took some of the fruit of the land in their hands and brought it down to us, since Eretz Israel is considered the top of the world, and told us what language its head inhabitants spoke. But they also said that just as the fruit of the land is abnormally large, so are the people who live in it. They thus tried to convince you that it was impossible to conquer the land by natural means. Hashem had said, yo, we're going to do it. What's the problem? Then they try to persuade you that Hashem would not assist you supernaturally either. Even though Hashem, what did we learn about HaBitachon yesterday? Not only is Hashem going to do it, but he's going to do even more than he promised. Yeshua and Caleb said, the land that Hashem, our God, is giving to us is good, and God will surely help us to conquest it. Edits there from before. But you were not willing to go up, so you disobeyed Hashem, your God. Keho adds, but although you did not fully accept the spies' contention that the land was unconquerable, you nonetheless were willing to go up, for you resented Hashem for giving you the land that you consider inferior to Mitzrayim. So you joined the spies and rebelliously disobeyed Hashem, your God. Oh, here we are. Before Tisha B'Av, this always right before Tisha B'Av, and we see right here what happened. But they ragnu balehem v'toimru v'nasiyas Adonai oisanu hotzianu me'eretz Mitzrayim laseis oisanu beyad hamori hashmideini. You slandered in your tents and said, out of God's hatred of us, he took us out of Egypt. Oy, deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to annihilate us. Oy, Gehot says, you slandered God in your tents and said, out of God's hatred to us, we took us out of Egypt. He took us out of Egypt publicly. However, you added your voices to the spies and complained, God's plans to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to annihilate us. What happens here? They projected. They said, they're the ones who didn't want to leave Mitzrayim. This whole time they didn't want to leave Mitzrayim, but instead of accepting responsibility, what do? They blame Hashem. They say, look, he didn't want to, he hated us. He hates us. That's there's obviously no other reason for this. Ana nachnu elim achenu hemasu es levavenu lemo am gadol veram mimenu arim kedei lois uvsurois bashamayim vegam bnei anakim. Where are we going? Our brothers have discouraged us, saying, we saw their people greater and taller than we, great and fortified cities in the sky, and the descendants of giants. The Kehot adds here that where do we think we're going? Our brothers have discouraged us, saying, we saw there a people greater and taller than we, great and fortified cities suspended in the sky. They were up in the sky, right? We think the fortified cities on the ground, but really they're up in the sky like Lando Calrissian. And the descendants of the supernal giants, supernatural giants, I should say, who were fathered by the fallen angels Shamchazai and Aziel. In the beginning it says, where are we going? Ana nachnu. Question is, who asked you? And who'd you ask? Because now all of a sudden they're seeing giants, and the Kehot says that for sure these were by the Anakim, fathered by fallen angels, and in different other opinions are saying, hey, these were a little bit hyperbole. There's a little bit of hyperbole. Which one's true? They can both be true. Could be that you see these gigantic things and they're real. You don't have HaBitachon. You didn't ask your Rebbe. And you start making stuff up in your head But you saw them, they're real. But you start thinking, oh man, we're never gonna be able to do this with the blah, blah, blah. And so this is what it's talking about, because they were so scared. But for a person who has true bitachon, it's just hyperbole, whatever. There's giants, it doesn't matter. They can be anything. It doesn't matter what they are, because Hashem told us we're gonna win, we're gonna take the land, that's all that matters. What does it matter what they look like, what they are, how big they are? It doesn't matter. And so they're both true. There's definitely more to be investigated here with this, for sure, though. And he said, do not be broken, do not be afraid of them. Were they broken and afraid? Adonai Elohechem, haholech lifneihem, hu yilachem lachem kechol asher asa itchem b'mitzrayim leinechem. God, your God, Hashem, your God, who goes before you, will fight for you, just as he did for you in Mitzrayim, before your very eyes. What's the problem? We saw this before. Yeah, but they weren't giants. Look at the cities in the sky. Uvamidbai asher isa asher nesacha Adonai Elohecha kasher isa ish es benoi kechol bechol haderech asher halachtem ad boachem ad hamakom hazeh. And in the desert, where you saw how Hashem, your God, was carrying you away, a man carries his son all along the road that you traveled until this place that you came to. Already Hashem is protecting you. What's the problem? Ubadavar hazeh einechem ma'aminim b'Adonai Elohechem ma'aminim. This is emunah. You did not believe Hashem. You do not have emunah in Hashem regarding this matter. So adds here. But despite God's open, miraculous protection that you've witnessed so far, you saw it. What's the problem? You still did not believe in Hashem, your God, regarding this matter of his promise to bring you safely into the land of Egypt. To the land of Israel, out of the land of Egypt and into the land of Israel. It didn't matter to them. They still didn't believe. Person doesn't believe, they don't believe. You don't have bitachon, you don't have bitachon, that's it. Haholech lifneichem baderech lasu lachem mekom lachanoschem ba'esh laila leroisechem baderech asher telchu ba uve'anan yomam. He goes before you in your journey in a pillar of fire by night and a pillar of cloud by day, in order to search out a place for you to make camp and show you which way to go. Hashem is showing you anyways. You don't even have to follow, you just have to follow Hashem. That's the main thing. Vayishma Adonai es kol divreichem vayiksoif vayishava lemo. Hashem heard the sound of your words and became angry. He swore, saying, Im ish banashim ha'ele hador hara hazeh. None of these men of this evil generation will see the good land that I swore to your forefathers. Good job. You happy now? You didn't listen, didn't ask, and here you are. Zulasi Kalev ben Yefunehu Yerena velo itein es haaretz asher darach ba ulvanav ya'an Hashem milei acherei Adonai. Except for Caleb, son of Yefuneh. He will see it, and I will give him the land he tread upon to him and his children, because he was loyal to Hashem. See the difference? Gam bi hitanaf Adonai biglalhem leimo gam ata lo savoy sham. Like Hashem also became angry with me on account of you, saying, you will not go there either. Moshe Rabbeinu blaming the people, that's why he didn't go in. Tekehot adds, God also allowed Yeshua to enter the land in reward for not having joined the rest of the spies. But beyond Kalev, Yeshua was appointed to lead the people in this conquest. This is because years later, God also became angry with me on account of my improper response to you when you complained against me at Kadesh, saying to me, you will not go there either. Yeshua bin Nun, hoimei lefanecha hu, yavoi shama, isoy chazek kihu. Yanchilena es Israel. Yeshua ben Nun, who stands before you, will go there, strengthen him, for he will cause Israel to inherit. Kehot adds here, Yeshua ben Nun, who stands before you to serve you. To serve who? To serve Moshe. Will go there in your stead, strengthen him, for he and not you will cause Israel to inherit the promised land. End of today's Torah portion, third Aliyah. We'll now go over the singular commentary here in Rebbe Nachman's Torah by BRI. There's only one here, so we'll talk about this. It is on verse chapter 1, Pasuk 22. תקרבון אליי כולכם ותאמרו נשלחה אנשים לפנינו ופרו לנו אס הארץ וישיבו אסנו דבר אס הדרך אשר נעלה בה ואס הערים אשר נבוא אליהן. That then all of you approached me and said, let us send ahead men to explore the land for us. Okay, that seems fun, I guess. They'll report back to us about the road that we will go up on in the cities that we will come to. So Rebbe Nachman here says in the Yetzer Hara 143, that you approach me, that this was the problem. What was the problem? Moshe himself even said it seemed like a good idea to him at the time. What's the problem? That the spies did not ask Moshe for advice. Rashi says this. This was their principal error. Before proceeding on a serious task, a person should always ask advice from many people. And asking advice for a tzaddik is considered the equivalent of asking many advisors. And you see that this was the theme throughout the whole Parsha, throughout the whole Aliyah, that the people didn't go and ask for advice. Who said that they should go? Who did they ask? Later on as well, when they came and they're on their own, and they went into the valley of Eshkol, the cluster of grapes, and it was a cluster. This is where they went, and they conspired. Who told them to go do that? Who told them it was a good idea to go and to tell the people, hey, you know what? We can stay in the desert. It's fine. We have mann, and we can learn Torah all day. They thought it was a good idea. They thought the spies was a good idea. They thought staying in the desert was a good idea. And later on in the Parsha, in the Aliyah, it says about who gets to go in. Kalev and Yeshua. Why? Because Kalev, he went and he prayed to the forefathers. He went and asked for advice over there. He stopped and he prayed. And Yeshua, what happened to him? He was the one who was serving Moshe Rabbeinu. He was doing whatever the Rebbe told him to do. So we see here the common thread throughout this whole Parsha, throughout this whole Aliyah, is that so many times we have amazing ideas. They seem so smart and so amazing. And what happens? They get us in the worst trouble. And it says the road to prison is paved with good intentions. People had a lot of good intentions. Oh man, I don't know. I meant to do something good. There's plenty of people in jail who had good intentions. And as well, when you talk about recovery, 12 steps, what does the addict say? The addict says, my best thinking got me here. My best thinking got me here. The addict, all of them are actually, they're geniuses. Either they really are or they are in their own mind. But every addict is the smartest person you've ever talked to. When they're in their addiction, this is exactly what they think. No one can tell me anything. What do you mean? I'm so smart. I got everything figured out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Who said you should do that? Who said you should do that? Did you ask anybody? This is why in order to get sober, in order to live in recovery, in order to get better, you have to live a new way. And what's to live a new way? It's to live your life in consultation. It's to ask before you act. It's to do the contrary action first and foremost. But even the contrary act, you have to go and you have to get a sponsor. And the sponsor is going to help you. And what does a sponsor do? The sponsor has one main task. Okay, maybe two. He helps you through the steps. But even before you can walk through the steps, he calls you out on your BS. He tells you when you're lying to yourself. He tells you when this is a bad idea. He asks you simple questions and you say, oh, well, the reason why I didn't do what you asked me to do is because I was waiting on the thing that blah, 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 and wasn't able to get it. And then my son came and he took the book and I didn't have it. So then I was so busy because something came up. And did you do the assignment or not? Well, I would have, but did you do the assignment or not? No, I didn't do the assignment. Okay, what's this all this other stuff? This is the whole thing, is that people lie to themselves and don't think if you're not in recovery or you don't think you're an addict, you don't do this. That you're also the most genius person in the whole world. Like we say that the great philosopher DMX once said, if you think you know, then I don't think you know. Because a person who thinks they know, for sure doesn't know anything. This is the main thing. This is why Moshe Rabbeinu was the humblest of all men. He knew everything, but he said, listen, who am I? He received the Torah. He knew more than anybody. He said, who am I? He was lowly. This is why water flows to the lowest place. Wisdom flows to the lowest place, to the humblest person. This is why the Torah was given on Har Sinai. I don't know who's to say. Moshe Rabbeinu was asking Hashem all the time. They'd go to the tent of meeting. We see over here, rules were even changed a couple times by Yisroi with the judges, by Salaf Chad's daughters in inheritance by Pesach Sheni. That Moshe said, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Let's go find out. Let's go ask what Hashem's going to say. The person has to go and they have to clarify for themselves. You have a good idea. That's a good idea. Great. Kol hakavod. What are you going to do? You're going to just go and act on it? Be impulsive? This is the problem. This is the problem. The Yetzer Hara, addict within us, whatever you want to call it, wants us to move quickly, doesn't want us to think, doesn't want us to live in life consultation, wants us, come on, you got to go do it now before someone else does it. When it comes to something we actually have to do, oh, it's okay, you can learn Torah later. Oh, it's okay, you can get that job later. Oh, it's okay, you can be the... When it's something that we actually have to do, oh, we can work out later, don't worry about it. Oh, later. But when it's something that the Yetzer Hara knows is going to get you in trouble, come on, we got to do it now. We got to do it now. Otherwise, if we don't, come on. It's hilarious. It's a farce. It's absurd because this is the whole point. The Yetzer Hara knows that if he can get us to move, the Yetzer Hara cannot actually get us to move, by the way. He can't make us do anything. All he can do is make us freak out. All he can do is give us anxiety, that's why it said by the golden calf, what did the Yetzer Hara do? He put an image of Moshe Rabbeinu on the mountain, dead on the mountain. So the people saw this, said, no, what happened to that guy? He was supposed to be back. No, now we need a guy. So they went in the act and boom, it was gone, it was over. Chill out, take your time. Go do his bodadus. Go ask Hashem. Go ask Hashem. Take your time and don't be like Korach. The Korach also went to his bodadus and was trying to tell Hashem, make me like Kohen Gadol. I need to be the Kohen Gadol. Show Moshe Rabbeinu that I'm the true Kohen Gadol, that he's just doing his nepotism. It says that Korach used to pray all the time. But he didn't pray for Hashem's will. He prayed to show Hashem. And that's the whole thing too. This is self-will run amok. Self-will run amok. That it said, the Kehot said at the beginning that the people, they went like an angry mob. Didn't care who was older, younger, this thing, that thing. Everybody's coming and say, no, we got to go, we got to do this. You see the world. The world wants you to go and jump and do things. Don't do it. That's another thing. The media's telling you to go do something. Oh, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. No. And now all the little lemmings going and running and jumping off. How's Shalom? Can look and say, I'm going to wait. I'm going to find out later on what's going to happen. And if it's Hashem, then it'll still be there. It's okay. It'll still be there. There's no way to miss the train with Hashem. HaBitachon on Hashem. And of course, I have to act on certain things, but just acting on my own, you have to ask Hashem. You have to live your life in consultation. That's why it says, find for yourself a Rebbe and don't turn to the left or the right. That's why the drunkard or the person who eats too much or the person who gambles or the person who can't control their eyes or control what's underneath their clothes, these people can't do it on their own. They have to go get someone to help them. They have to go to a group. They have to get a sponsor. And the sponsor has to be like, hey, wake up. Who said no? Stop, put that aside. Let's do some work over here. No, but this is so important, blah, blah. Chill out. We're going to connect to Hashem. Let's do some work. That thing, okay, if it's there and later on, maybe we'll talk about it later on, but right now we don't need to do that. Live your life in consultation. This also happened by Aruch. Aruch, they came and they mobbed him and they wanted him to make the calf, golden calf. And he was trying to chill them out, saying, no, come on, go get your wife's jewelry and maybe we'll use that, and thinking that they're not going to look at the jewelry, or he's trying to delay them. Hopefully in the meantime Moshe will come down. He didn't. Chill out, take your time, don't be so hasty. Get a second opinion, get a third opinion, find for yourself a rabbi. Don't turn to the left or the right. Get for yourself a sponsor, somebody who's going to call out your BS, bring a higher awareness to your disconnection, because as we say, a disconnection is a misconnection waiting to happen. And a lot of times we're already misconnected. And we're already running around misconnected, thinking, no, this is the best. Hashem wants me to do this. I know he does. Deluding ourselves. Thank you, Hashem Barach. We should be zoiche to live our life in consultation. That this whole thing would have been avoided. This whole Aliyah today would have been avoided if only they would have chilled out, asked for advice, ask Hashem what he wants, ask the Tzaddik what should be done. Tzaddik, Rebbe, Rabbeinu, Moshe Rabbeinu, please tell me. What should we do? Should we do this? Should we not do it? Hashem, he would say, oh, let me check. Shalak lecha. Send for yourself. To live our life in consultation, to live our life with the spiritual guide, to live our life with people who are helping us navigate through this crazy world and our emotional, mental, physical, spiritual state. And we should be zoichet to be able to chill out, be humble enough to get called out on our bad decisions, on our bad thoughts, on our bad ideas, and to put them aside. And this way, Mashiach's game is going to come not through war, Shalom, not through craziness, not through fighting, but just by us doing nothing. Us doing nothing. No more judging, no more wars, no more nothing. Okay, that's it. I don't have to do that. And boom, it's going to be autopilot, third base of Mikdash coming down from heaven, from Shemaim, and we'll see rebuilding, the world being united, and Shalom, Shalom Shalema. And this way we'll see truly a unified world in the best very way, in the best way. All of Am Yisrael and all the whole world together, claiming the oneness of Hashem in peace and harmony. Now we'll jump into Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We are up to 37 and 38, still talking about Melaven, of laundering, of bleaching. So here it says, if however, yesterday we were talking about what happens if your clothes get really wet on Shabbos. If however one was going to fulfill a matter of a mitzvah, such as to greet his father or his Torah teacher, or one is superior to him in Torah knowledge, he may wade through the river, provided that he makes a deviation from his regular behavior. Oh, there's my Rebbe. What we were just saying. We were just saying about living our life in consultation. So if you see your Rebbe, you see your sponsor, you see somebody, and you have a question, hey, I have a great idea, I want to go do this thing. The Torah is saying you can actually do that. You can break this, what was being a protection against this toledah, and you'd be able to go and to wade in water to go and get your answer here. For example, he might deviate by now removing his hand from beneath the edge of his garment while crossing the river. In order that she remember the prohibition of sehita and not come to squeeze on his wet garments. Also, it's prohibited to cross the water in one's sandals. For since one cannot tie in the sandal and tie it well, we're concerned that perhaps it will fall off his foot when he crosses the river, and he will then come to carry it in a place where carrying is forbidden. It's permitted, however, to cross the water in one's shoes, since he will be securely fastened to his feet. And since one went across the stream in the first place to fulfill a matter of a mitzvah, it's permitted for him to also return through the water. But if one is going in order to guard his produce, for indeed protecting one's property is also somewhat a mitzvah, he may wade through the water while on his way there, but not while returning. So if you see, oh no, there's a big problem, I better get home quickly to fix it because of this storm that's coming, that's here, you can go fix it, but then you got to take the long way back. So that is number 37. Here's 38. Mud that is on one's garment, if it is moist, one may scrape it off with the fingernail or with the knife. But if it is dry, one may not scrape it off, because since the mud crumbles, this is similar to grinding. All right, so not only are we concerned about milaben here, but we're worried about grinding, because you're taking that little patch of mud and now you're going to break it up, and what's going to happen? It's going to break in a bunch of little pieces. So if you have some mud that's nicely fresh on your garment, just get that off, scrape it off. Should be zoichet to be able to live our life in consultation. And if we have a question, to see our Rebbe on Shabbos, and that we should be zoichet to not have to wade through water in order to get our answer, and be able to keep Shabbos in the best way. End of Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. When we move on to HaBitachon here, we went over and finished chapter 1 yesterday. Today we'll do chapter 2, introduction. Yesterday in chapter 1, we learned about the definition of bitachon. Regardless of Hashem, regardless of the person, what would it be to have bitachon, and what would be the conditions? In chapter 1 of Osir, to find bitachon is absolute reliance on the provider with complete confidence and peace of mind that he will meet all one's needs and even go beyond what one deserves, what one promised. It's not, you're not getting it because you deserve it, you're getting it because Hashem loved you. In presenting that definition, alluded to the primary qualities a provider must have in order to inspire such confidence. He knows what you need, he can do it, and he's willing to do it. In this chapter, elaborates on those qualities, breaking them down into 7 specific criteria. He explains why bitachon cannot be complete unless one's provider meets all this criteria. Finally, he shows that no human being has the required qualities and only Hashem has them. So it's illogical to place one's trust in human beings and imperative to place trust only in Hashem. Here we are, chapter 2. This chapter's now start to get a bit longer, so we're not going to go the full chapter. So I'm going to go here to first and second criterion. We learned in the previous chapter that bitachon is defined as the blissful confidence that the provider upon whom one relies will supply whatever one may need. People often place their trust in other humans who are wealthier, more skilled, or more powerful than they. Oh man, this guy will take care of me. He's got money. Oh, this guy knows what he's doing. He'll teach me. Oh, he's more powerful than me. He's going to hook me up. Let's explore whether it is reasonable to have bitachon, supreme confidence in a human being at all. Is this guy going to help me? Let's look. He begins by examining the qualities a provider must have in order to be worthy of having anyone rely on him. Absolutely. Not just for this favor, not just for this one thing, for everything, all the time. When we consider the criteria that would theoretically provide a basis for placing one's trust in human beings, we see that there are 7 such criteria. It is not logical for anyone to have bitachon in a human being unless that human being possesses 7 specific qualities. Let's see, what are they? The first criterion. The first of 7 qualities that make it possible for anyone to be worthy of one's reliance is that the provider be someone who possesses the traits of compassion, pity, and love. Ahas mehem hagachamim vehemla vehava. For when a person knows that his fellow is compassionate and pitying towards him, he will incline to trust that fellow and rely on him in any of his affairs with which he troubles him. Thus, the first base of bitachon is that the provider should care so deeply about a person, the person is comfortable placing his trust in him in any and all matters. Right? This person is compassionate. He loves you. This is the first criteria. You can't have bitachon if you just think, oh, Hashem will provide, Hashem will give, Hashem. Why? Well, because I'm doing the mitzvahs. I'm putting my bitachon in him because I have nowhere else to go. No, because Hashem loves you. That's the first thing. He cares. He's compassionate. He has grace, pity, and love. There's nowhere else to go to him. There's nowhere else to go. Why? Because he loves me. The next criterion, the second of 7 essential qualities, is that one must know about the provider that in addition to his love for the one placing trust in him, which will arouse him to aid this person when he is aware of his need, he never diverts his attention from this person due to preoccupation with other affairs, and also is not sluggish in carrying out any of his needs. Rather, the one placing trust in the provider knows that he always exerts himself and is determined to carry out his need. For if the one placing trust is not sure about all this regarding the provider, he will not have complete trust in him. Right? Maybe he's sleeping right now. Maybe I should get someone else to take care of him when this guy gets tired, he's busy, whatever it is. And this is what the goyim do. This is what the people who don't believe in Hashem, people who have multiple gods, are people that they say maybe Hashem created the world, but he's not really involved in our matters. Or when you hear somebody come up after they win the Super Bowl, and they say, I just want to thank God, and everybody in the media or anybody that's in the party with you, and they say, oh, what, you think God cares about the Super Bowl? Well, the God I believe in cares about everything, all the time. Can't not care about everything. Can't not be involved in everything. So this is the one I'm going to put my trust in. Right? And if you're not, then I can't completely trust in that person, because he knows that the provider sometimes has lapses of attention and sometimes is lax in carrying out his need. Well, I have needs all the time, so you can't have a God or a person or whatever helping me that sometimes he's on, sometimes he's off. But when the person who is bestowing his trust finds that these 2 qualities that we have mentioned combine in the one in whom he is placing his trust as a provider, namely that the provider has great compassion, love, pity for him, and 2, how much the provider looks after his affairs with complete attention and determination, he will undoubtedly place trust in him. This is the end of the first 2 criterions here. And Hashem loves you. He's doing things for you because he loves you. And secondly, he's always on. You neither slumbers nor sleeps. We zoichet to be able to learn true bitachon, to be able to apply true bitachon, to be able to be with Hashem Yitbarach in all of our needs and all of the things that we have, that we not rely on our own thoughts, that we should have bitachon in Hashem and know that Hashem plays for us rabbis, leaders, spiritual guides, that we should be able to go. That you see in the spies, that it says they didn't believe in Hashem, which is why they didn't ask Moshe. They just sent the people. They knew Moshe was going to say no. So because they didn't believe in Hashem, so then they wanted to send the spies. And instead of asking for the spies, they just went out and sent it on their own amazing ideas. We to have true bitachon in Hashem, live our life in consultation. In this way, we'll see the most amazing thing, have everything provided for us in a timely, amazing, fantastic, happy manner. End of Shaar HaBitachon for today. Finish off here with selection of I'm in Your Hands by Rav Shalom Aruch. Here we've been talking about Hitbodedut. What is Hitbodedut? How do you do Hitbodedut? And now this one is page 91. Is this practical? All right. So have you ever heard a new idea that you really want to actualize, but you have a million excuses? You're very busy. You have a lot of obligations, just like all of us. And as we said, when a person has a good idea that is going to get them in trouble, they're never too busy. They have to do it right away. But when it's something that needs to be done, actually, Hashem wants you to do, and all of a sudden, oh, I don't know, we'll do it later. Okay, maybe I'll do it. How do you even do it? Because we're so busy, we don't have enough time to spend with our loved ones. We don't spend enough time with our spouses and children. We don't have time to take proper care of our bodies, pursue our hobbies, or learn new things. All we can do is work. We need to work more. This will for sure bring more money. We know that dedicating time to all those things, would improve our quality of life, but unfortunately, most of us live under pressure and constraints. Who has time to take care of their bodies? I only need it for, 120 years. It'll take care of itself, I'm sure. Who needs time to raise your kids? They'll be fine, I'm sure. Who needs time to spend with your spouse? Surely my spouse will still love me and will still have a connection for sure. But I mean, come on, who's going to work if I don't work? Who's going to make more money if I don't do it? Whatever is not a top priority gets pushed aside for later, but that later doesn't usually come quickly. The things that are on the to-do list that always get pushed off. That's the way it is. They never go to the top. And, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start with that thing. Because tomorrow I got to do the same things that I started here today on this one. You could listen to an uplifting shiur or business lecture and be inspired, but if you don't actualize it, you won't be left with anything. Great. Got motivated. Now what? For many years now, I've been teaching people from all walks of life the importance of Hitbodedut. What a great gift it is to have Hitbodedut. What a great gift it is to learn Hitbodedut. If you're listening to this right now, Hashem loves you so much that you're learning HaBitachon and being Hitbodedut. With these things, everything, you're going to get everything. Thank you, Hashem. Sometimes it takes time to teach people how to talk to Hashem. Even for someone who prays daily, Hitbodedut can be challenging at first, but slowly you get better at it. The main problem is making time for Hitbodedut. I don't know when I'm going to do it, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. Schedule it in your calendar, same time, do it every day. Schedule Torah study, schedule Hitbodedut, schedule time with your kids, schedule time with your wife, schedule time to be with the Creator every day. Without it, we're just floundering in life, hoping someone will set us in the right direction. Making time for Hitbodedut, this is where things can start to go wrong. We all have excuses. We have good intentions, but Hitbodedut just doesn't get done. Day after day, this whole thing, as I was saying, the sponsor will come and call you on your BS. Wait a minute. Hitbodedut. How are you not going to do Hitbodedut? How come it keeps getting pushed off? You're avoiding it. It's something else. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go eat that big fatty burger. I'm going to go do that thing that's unhealthy for me. I'm going to go do that thing that's detrimental to me. No problem. Time for that. Isn't that funny? Have fun for that. Even if that's a daily habit, somehow we don't have to schedule that in. Everything else on the schedule gets pushed off. That thing that, it'll just take 5 minutes, takes an hour, 2 hours. And here we are. So we should be zoiche to be able to stay here with Hashem, to have HaBitachon, and to review every single day our Hitbodedut. And this way we're going to have a true connection with Hashem, true power with Hashem, and find love and awe and protection, true Bitachon, l'chaim. Thank you for coming. See you tomorrow.